Hey, what's up guys? So here is a quick video about all 6 sources of income that I currently have, from the completely active sources of income to the small passive sources of income that I hope will grow over time. No, this isn't about how I make $500 a day or $10,000 a week, but hopefully this video motivates you guys to get started because a lot of these sources of income are easy to obtain. So we're gonna start by talking about my largest sources of income, which all happen to be fully active. My first one is my main engineering job. It's my predominant job. I work as a design engineer and I assist clients as an admin on a particular engineering software that a lot of engineering companies use. It gets a little mundane, but it's very rewarding at the end of the day. But the point is, with this job, and I'll round down a little bit, I make about $5,000 per month, which is, if you want to call it per day, a little over $160 per day. And as far as modifying the amount that I'm getting paid from this job, being salaried just like any other salaried job, I would have to get promotions, raises, or just overall go into a different company that's willing to pay me more for the qualifications that I met with the role I'm in now with this company. But there's a lot of things that I really enjoy about this job. One of the biggest things is the scheduling, because it gives me the opportunity to take a lot of time throughout the back half of my day to do something else, including take time into my second job, which is also fully active. My second job is at a retail store in a mall, and it's really chill, especially in comparison to my primary job. But it's really cool because I also get discounts on the clothes that we sell there, which I happen to like, on top of the money that I get paid for being there per hour. Speaking of that per hour, I work about 15 hours per week on average, give or take, and I make on average about $500 every single month. Again, break that down by day, that's about $16 a day. Now, since this is hourly, just like any other hourly job, the only way I can make myself get more money is if I either take in more hours or I find another job that's also hourly that pays more than that one, just a simple replace. However, with this job, ideally, I wanna ultimately replace this job with something that pays me in passive income, which means I can do absolutely nothing or little to nothing to make that money. So I can take that time that I'm gaining and put it towards other things like my personal hobbies or my future wife and our future marriage, or just other things that interest me, including especially this YouTube channel. Aside from my fully active sources of income, I have another category of income that we'll call semi-active, and spoiler alert, it involves spending money. So the first one is my cash back rewards credit card with the Bank of America. I really like this credit card because it's very convenient for my everyday life. It gives me 3% cash back on groceries, which is really cool because groceries are super expensive right now, 2% on gas and 1% on everything else. That definitely adds up, obviously as long as you're using it responsibly. Last year, I actually made $300 in cash back, which per day is pretty low. It's about 82 cents per day. But what's really cool about this card is that the cash back you get, you can choose to either have it put into your Bank of America account if you have one, you can have it sent to you as a check, which takes about a week to do, or you can take that money and put it right back onto your credit card to lower your debt, which is what I currently do. And since I have a set amount that I put on my credit cards every single month to try to pay off some additional principal on top of the interest, this is really beneficial to be able to put that cash back into that card because I can use the remaining funds to put it somewhere else. So the second source of income that I have in this semi-active category is my new American Express Gold card. And a lot of people may not consider this a source of income out the gate, primarily because instead of getting cash back, you get points. For example, I'll get 4 times the points whenever I use it at restaurants or groceries for every dollar I spend, on top of the points that I get for everything else, on top of the other rewards that may get from specific companies. But what makes this a source of income for me is what you can do with those points. You can redeem points for a lot of things on their actual store, but you can actually get gift cards, including gift cards from specific stores, or gift cards for American Express. General gift cards that you can use anywhere. For example, you can get a $25 AMEX gift card for 5,000 points, which can be really easy to get if you're using it on certain things that give you multiple points back for every dollar you spend. What's also really cool is I can also use those points to, instead of getting cash back, I can pay certain payments on my credit card. So for example, if I went out to eat and I spent $100 at a restaurant and I owed that $100 on that card, I can instead use 15,000 points that I've obtained from other spendings to pay that off. These are really small sources of income, but they're really cool because if you're doing your general spending with all your credit cards that give you some type of rewards back that could be retained as cash, and you save all those up to the end of the year, and for my example, I have a bunch of cash back from Bank of America, and a bunch of points I can redeem for more cash back in the form of gift cards. It's really, really cool. It can be really beneficial, especially when you can use those cash and those gift cards on anything. The third source of income that I obtain by spending money is using an app called Rakuten. Rakuten is a company that partners with other companies that allows you to get cash back off the purchases that you make. You can either go through their website and click on the company that you may want to purchase something from, and it'll automatically activate the amount of cash back that you're getting, or you can actually link your debit card to your account. And whenever you purchase something physically from whatever store that might have a relationship with Rakuten, you'll get that cash back as well. For example, a couple of weeks ago, I bought some shoes from Nike. I went on the Rakuten website and I looked up Nike, and Rakuten has a relationship with Nike where they'll give their customers 10% cash back when you purchase something through them. So I made a $130 purchase and I got about $13 in cash back. And all the cash that I get accumulated back, you receive within a few months afterwards. And what's really cool is that if you have a credit card that gives you cash back or rewards back that can be redeemed for cash or gift cards, you can use that on top of using the Rakuten app by actually paying for whatever item you get at whatever store that has a relationship with Rakuten that results in a percentage cash back already, and use your credit card that may give you the extra rewards points for more cash back, or use your cash back credit card for more cash back. So combining those two things together can be really, really cool, really convenient. So this last category of my sources of income are fully passive, meaning I have to do little to absolutely no work to obtain this money consistently. One of the reasons this happens to be my favorite, as long as it continues to grow over time. My first one is my dividend portfolio. I opened my Robinhood account back in May of 2019. This is before I even knew what a dividend or a stock dividend even was. But once I did, I started growing it, and I built a portfolio that was able to pay me about $189 last year, or almost $16 per month. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but the growth is there. And actually, as a matter of fact, this year I'm scheduled to make about $229 per year, which is about $19 per month. And that's assuming that I stop investing into it consistently, which for me is $25 a week. And it also means that the dividends that I currently make, I just withdraw out and use for something completely different rather than reinvest it back into my portfolio, which is also what I do. Doing those two things is gonna definitely benefit me and anybody that has a dividend portfolio to consistently increase that source of income beyond what a certain amount, like for me, $25 a week would do. The other source of income that I have is my high yield savings account with PNC Bank. I actually just made a video about this, so make sure you check that out. It talks about all the other banks I looked at and why I picked PNC Bank and why high yield savings is so significant. And most people may not consider a savings account, let alone a high yield one, to be a source of income, but just hear me out. My high yield savings account currently has a 4% interest rate, which I believe right now is about 13 times higher than the national average, which is really great. And it kind of annoys me that I didn't set up one a lot sooner. And this is all about long-term passive income. With the $50 a week that I plan on investing into it, this is basically how much I could end up dealing with in the long term. Even though it's a little over, we're gonna say that I'm investing about $200 a month. In the first 12 months, I would have a balance that would pay me an extra $47.52 in interest, which is almost $4 per month. A year later, continuing that $50 a month, I would be able to get $192.89 back in dividends, or about $16 per month. So that's already 4 times if I just wait one more year. But then if I go 5 years overall with just $50 a month, I can make over $1,200 in dividends, which is about $100 every single month. That's crazy. But of course, something that all of us need to keep in mind, that's assuming that whatever you're investing into, if this is something you decide to do, remains the same, which for me is $50 a month. And then something that we can't necessarily control that also assumes that whatever interest rate you're in remains the same. And more than likely, 4% may not stay 4%. It could go up, but it could easily go down. But with a high yield savings account, it's typically gonna be a lot higher than the national average, hence the high and the yield. So regardless, you're gonna be making a lot more money with a high yield savings than a regular savings, which is why I'm proud to have this and consider this a source of income. And regardless, these sources of income are what I can obtain by doing absolutely nothing. And what's really cool to think about is that all these sources of income work together. The more money I make from my savings account, my credit cards, and my investments, the more money I can reinvest back into the same things to continue to make even more money. And the more money I make from my primary sources of income, the more money I can put in those savings accounts and the investments, and to use my credit cards to responsibly pay those off to make more money or rewards just to do it all over again. There are obviously a lot more sources of income that a lot of YouTubers on this platform have talked to you guys about, which can make you a lot more money in the long term. But hopefully I've used this video to show you guys that it does require patience to make that much money, unless you just already have it, that you can invest a lot into it out the gate. But small progress like what I'm making right now is still progress rather than doing nothing. So get out there and get started by going in the comments below and letting me know if there's any other sources of income that I might have missed, because like I said, I definitely didn't name them all, and there's more that I've tried and failed at, and there's probably something you guys have tried and succeed. Let's all share our stories together. I really do appreciate you guys watching, and as always, until next time, take care.